welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the BH Cosmetics and Daisy Marquez eyeshadow palette collab. As soon as it launched, I ordered it and I got it a couple of days ago, and I've been playing with it every day since I've got it, so I think I could give a fairly decent review of the palette. And actually it's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on this palette, then just keep on watching, and if you guys could go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, that would help me out a lot. And yeah, let's just get right on into the video. So this is how the palette comes right out the box. So it basically just gives you a sneak peek into the palette with all of these shades, and it just says Daisy Marquez on it, and it says 20 color eyeshadow palette, and it does say all the information that you would need, like ingredients and stuff, in the back. So it's obviously Tiffany blue. Now if you're a flower and you follow Daisy, you'll know that she loves Tiffany blue, so that's why I'm assuming she made the palette that color. And it comes with a little card. It just says, "I'm so excited to finally share my palette with you all. To my flowers who have been there with me since the beginning, this one is for you. I've worked so hard to bring forth this palette, and each color has been created with you all in mind. Can't wait to see all the magic that you create with it. Love always, Daisy Marquez." And there's 2 hashtags here that you could use when you are using the palette on like Instagram or Twitter or something. And now finally on to the actual palette. So this is how the palette looks like. It's just basically supposed to be a Tiffany sort of box, and it's basically a present. So the really interesting thing about this palette is the lid actually detaches, and it is a mirror, an actual functioning mirror. I have enjoyed the mirror quite a bit. I think it is an actual good mirror. You know, some palettes come with mirrors you can't even use, but this is actually a good functioning mirror, and this mirror is meant to go in this little groove right here, so it's supposed to sit in here and basically be a vanity. However, I don't use it like that. I hold the mirror up to my face if I'm doing makeup. And moving on to the actual palette, this is how the palette looks like. So as you can see here, there's just a bunch of beautiful shades in here, and it has a fair amount of shimmers and a fair amount of matte shades. So basically the first 2 rows are mattes and the bottom 2 rows are shimmer colors. And right now on my lids, I currently have Karma just all in the crease and a little bit on my lid, and then I have Stunt on my actual lid. And I think these shadows blend really well. I was actually surprised at how well they blend, because I mean, think about it, this palette is $19. That's how much I got it for. If you think about it, this palette is extremely affordable, and I honestly did not expect the shadows to blend out this well. I have never used BH Cosmetics before, but I honestly didn't expect it to blend out so smooth and be so easy to use. I think this palette is perfect for everybody, whether you're advanced or you're a beginner. I'm not a makeup expert, I'm not a makeup artist, but I do think this palette is fairly easy to use. And I know these shades right here, the colorful shades, especially the red and the yellow, can be very intimidating to some of the beginner makeup enthusiasts, but I do think that these blend out really well. They're not going to give you a hard time. Of course, use a primer. I did use MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, so always use a primer whenever you're doing your eyeshadow, and it should blend smoothly and just stay on your lid all day long. Now I've had my eyeshadow on for about 3 hours, and it hasn't broken apart on me, it hasn't creased, and it hasn't separated, so that to me is pretty good. And the other days that I did test this makeup on, I did leave it on for a fairly decent amount of time, and it never broke apart or cracked or anything like that. So I was really impressed with these shades. So I believe this palette retails for $24, but it was on sale for $19 for the first couple of days. That's how much I got it for. But actually, if you go to BH Cosmetics website and is your first order and you put in your email, you get 20% off code sent to you. So actually you can get the palette for a discounted price also, which I think is really cool and helpful that they do give you 20% off on your first order. And honestly, at that price point, I did not expect these shadows to be as good as they are, but they're very buttery, they blend out very smoothly. Now the only problem I had with this palette is that when you're taking the shimmery shades and you are putting them on your brush, the shade sort of crumbles. Now it's not falling apart, as you can see, it's still in the pan very nicely. It's not falling apart completely, but it does crumble as you're taking it out, and on your brush it's just very crumbly, so I do have to tap it off a bit. If fallout is a problem for you, this palette does have fallout in the pan, not so much on the eyelids. I didn't have that much fallout. If you just take a baby wipe and just wipe it away, it should be fine. But this palette does have a little bit of fallout in the pan, so if that bothers you, then I wouldn't suggest getting this palette. You can honestly do so much with this palette. You can do a very creative look, a very colorful look, or you can do like a date night look, or even a work look. It has a lot of shades in here. It has 20 shades to be exact, and you can create a lot of looks with these shades. It's a good variety of shades, I feel like. So I'm just gonna swatch a couple of my favorite shades. First, I'm gonna swatch Karma, and I'm gonna do Royalty, and I'm gonna do Stunt, which is this one right here, and I'll do Flower. Those are actually some of my favorite shades from this palette. So these are the swatches right here. This is Karma, Royalty, Flower, and Stunt. And as you can see, these just go on really smoothly. The swatches are really nice. As you can see, it's a little bit crumbly on these glitter shades, but when you put it on your eyelids and use your brush, you just tap your brush and you'll be good to go. And I really do love Karma. I think that is my favorite shade out of the whole palette. So honestly, if you're looking for a affordable palette, I would go with this one. It is perfect to travel. It's not too big. You can easily throw it in your travel bag or throw it in your suitcase. And I do like the fact that it does have a detachable mirror, because honestly for me, when I'm traveling with more than one person, and then people end up hogging the bathroom, and then I can't get to the mirror in the hotel. So I could easily just take this off of the palette and just be anywhere in the room and use this. So I do honestly think that this is a very helpful and unique part of the palette. And I do also like that it is a strong magnetic hold. Now I'm only holding it right by the lid, and it stays, it does not fall off, which I really like, because at first when I heard when the palette was detachable, I was worried that it wasn't going to hold properly when it is together, but it holds perfectly fine and it doesn't come apart at all, which is like a pet peeve of mine. I don't like things like coming apart when they're not supposed to and stuff like that. So my final thoughts on this palette is it is a good bang for your buck. You get your money's worth, honestly, and you can get the 20% off coupon code, so you really can't go wrong with this palette. I do think the shadows are pigmented, and I do think they last a really long time and they don't break up or crease or anything like that. So I really do like this palette, and I would recommend it to anybody else, because you can get this palette for $19, and honestly you cannot beat that price for 20 shadows that are actually good and opaque. So that is it for the review of the palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. All my social medias will be listed down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.